YouTube world? This is Nicholas Montez here, and welcome back to the Teenage Movie Critic. And I am your fellow movie enthusiast, Nicholas Montez. And in today's video, we'll be discussing the brand new Paul Thomas Anderson film, One Battle After Another. Now, I am a little bit behind on this review because I have been a little bit busy and building out myself and my channel. And I want to do some new things for this channel moving forward. And one of this is actually editing and making proper YouTube videos, whereas in the past, I've just been doing live streams. But this will hopefully be the first video where it is edited and it comes out good. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start reviewing Paul Thomas Anderson's latest movie. Okay, so this has been a pretty interesting movie as far as I'm concerned, because I am not known for going to the movies during the month of September, but in the last year or so, I actually went to go see The Wild Robot last September, but there's always been a movie since last year that has always been piquing my interest. Last year, for example, in August of 2024, I saw Alien Romulus, mainly because that was a film that really just showed trailers for it every single time I went to the cinemas, and the same thing happened for One Battle After Another, and I'm honestly glad I got to see it because this was an extraordinary experience to take in. So let's just go ahead and dive into the specific aspects of the film. Obviously, one of the things I love in movies are performances, and I guess we could talk a lot about the performances in the movie. Of course, we could always talk about Leonardo DiCaprio, which I was kind of surprised going into it that he was not the best thing about the movie, because usually when a movie is that good, he's usually the best thing, and sometimes the rest of the movie could be good, but he usually is the greatest thing about it. But surprisingly, he was only like a good half of it, because the rest of the movie actually does have good stuff, but he is a good performer in this movie. He plays a different role considering of his other films, where he's kind of playing this mafia boss in other films. Here he's kind of playing like a bum and someone on the run from the law. So I thought his role was very unique. It was also kind of funny in certain aspects, which we'll talk more about that on the comedy later. I also like Teyana Taylor in this movie. She's not in it a whole lot like the other actors like Leo and Sean Penn and the daughter and Benicio del Toro, but what I liked about her character, especially from what we saw of her, is she played the usual roles that she plays in the past, that she played in past movies, but because it's a film about revolutions and stuff like that, I thought that her presence of what it meant like 15 years later as the time jump happened, of how much of an impact it made towards the story, I thought was really fascinating to me, so her performance was really cool. I also like the daughter in here. I don't actually know the actress's name, but the way her character was actually portrayed was really good. I especially like the twist where you actually found out that Sean Penn was her father in the film, and you found out that Leo wasn't her actual father. But in many cases, it seems that Leo was actually a much better dad than Sean Penn will ever be. So I thought the way she played in the story worked really awesome, and her performance, she did really well. Regina Hall in here was also really fascinating. I like the way that she played into the plot and trying to save the daughter and taking her to this nun house. All that stuff was really good, and once again, just another solid performance by Regina Hall. However, my favorite performance in the film was actually Sean Penn. He just played this such conniving villain. I thought he was going to be a small part of the movie, but I was actually so shocked as to how big of a part he was going to play in the film. Both of being the guy that leads the soldiers to try and find Leo and his daughter, but also being the father of the daughter in the film, which was something that I found so shocking in the movie. But also, I don't know if this is how he walks in real life, but he has this like specific walk in the film that I just found funny, and I don't know if he did that because it brought life to the character. But if that's how he walks, that'd be really funny. But if that's how if that walk was built for the character, then that would be even more hilarious because that was like so profound for that specific character. Another actor I loved in here was Benicio del Toro. He's both the best part and the worst part of the movie. Which I think he kind of brings some of my favorite parts of the film to where he brings this charismatic stuff. Both Leo does too, but he's like a scene stealer to where he's like stealing scenes, making cute little quirks here and there. And I think that's what the rest of the film does, is it has a unique sense of humor from points in time to where it is on the edge of your seat the entire time, but there's never a moment of loss to where you can laugh or chuckle a little bit. It's not like a big epic blockbuster, but it does it in the right way that I thought was worked for Benicio del Toro's character. Another thing I really enjoyed about the movie was the way that it just had this large scale, that it felt grounded, but at the same time it also felt large in scale in the way that the shots were done and the way that the movie felt intense and all that greatness. And one other thing I want to talk about before we move on to the bad is I really love the score in the film. It just kind of always had this score moving, and the score was just memorable throughout the entire film. It kind of felt like classical music, but in the right way. But also it had a bunch of great needle drops. One of the ones being ready or not, here I come, you can't hide, gonna find you and take it slow. Yeah, I love that one. But yeah, the music in here is great and the scale is great. But I do kind of have an issue with the scale of the movie, which leads us into the bad of this. And I feel like as though they're setting it up to be called One Battle After Another. And I don't think the battles in here are as good, and I don't think the action in here is as good. And I will explain. So the entire movie, everybody's talking about how good the action sequences and how good the car chases is, which I will admit, the car chases in here are actually really well done in the way they're shot. It puts the intensity in there. The problem is there's never that kind of action that I look to going into a movie like this, and that kind of had me disappointed. And maybe it was just because I was expecting something better, and maybe I was expecting Leo or Benicio to go start fighting these soldiers to actually prove they're revolutionary, but I guess they're not skilled martial artists. Like, when we got to Benicio del Toro's character and we're in that, whole training room, I was thinking, they're mentioning nunchucks. I'm thinking oh, we're probably gonna have this big epic action sequence to get Leo to run, and Benicio del Toro's gonna stay and fight these cops. I'm like, this would be awesome. And I guess that's just the action fan of me thinking that. And normally, in order to do that, people like that have to be young. But at the same time, people that are older can still probably do things like that. But I don't know. I think it was just the action fan of me wanting that to happen. But overall, the movie has great performances. It's got really good scale. It's funny at times. It's got a good score, a great needle drops, and a really good story all about revolutions. So that is my thoughts on One Battle After Another. I'm going to give this one an A-, and on the entertainment score, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10, or 8 out of 10, whatever I put on the screen. That's the score I'll give it. Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you appreciated the video and you really liked it. If you liked it, please sure to leave a like. If you want to comment something, be sure to leave a comment. And I'm going to leave 2 videos down here. One will be a playlist for all the movies that I've seen in 2025 thus far. On the right will be a list for a random video that YouTube wants to recommend to you. And if you like this channel and if you like this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.